and sits in the chair vacated by the placeholder, who stands at his elbow. As soon as he sits, a waiter in a striped shirt appears, as if out of thin air. "Shai," the general orders, not bothering to look at the waiter. He takes in the man next to him, slender, smooth-skinned, expensive white shirt and tan slacks, a gold Rolex on his wrist. Attractive to women, Boudaoui thinks, the type you run into at the pool at the Four Seasons on the west bank of the Nile, surrounded by international models in bikinis, while he does business on his cell phone. "I know this café," Boudaoui says. "They say it was a favorite of Mahfouz, the writer. They say that about every café in Cairo. If Mahfouz drank coffee in every café that claims him, his bladder would have exploded." "You have something for me," Boudaoui says. It is not a question. "A demonstration," he says, keeping his voice neutral, knowing it is being recorded somewhere, to make it more difficult to get a clean voice print over the noise of the café and the street. Multiple demonstrations. Something they will not forget, he adds, starting the sequence he has practiced for weeks. He removes his left loafer and sock with the toes of his right foot, then, with the toes of his left foot, removes the right loafer and sock, and the scalpel taped with flesh-colored tape to the sole of his right foot. "Where?" Boudaoui asks. "Lo samat." "Please, we haven't discussed the terms," he says. He has the scalpel between his toes and raises it to his right hand that he drops casually below the table. "When?" 3 weeks, perhaps less. He has the scalpel in his hand, his heart racing. "I'll need more than that." "So will I," he says, his body tensing for the shock wave, ready to dive to the ground, thinking, "Dilwati, don't wait." "Such as?" "The two brothers." "Indeed." The general puts an American cigarette to his lips, which the placeholder leans over to light. "Those particular Muslim brothers are assassins. Why should I release them?" "The Americans and their allies will owe you a debt," he says, his hand tight on the scalpel. "Inshallah, inshallah, God willing, do it!" With a kind of relief, he sees the club-footed vendor turn to look at them, mouthing, "Allahu Akbar." The general sees it too and starts to get up, the placeholder reaching for his holster, but it is too late. The explosion, deafening in the narrow street. The shockwave, scorching hot, and far more powerful than he had imagined, smashes them with incredible force, flinging them aside. Chairs, debris, fragments of metal and bits of human flesh and body parts fly past as he dives to the ground, burying the scalpel in the general's groin. The general screams once as he slices diagonally, cutting the femoral artery. Bright spurts of blood instantly soaking the general's trousers. Stunned, the general struggles to get up, but his strength is draining too quickly and he falls back, legs twitching feebly on the pavement. For an instant, everything is silent, except for the thudding of dust and debris still raining down, and then the screams begin, though he can barely hear them, his ears ringing from the explosion. He whirls to face the placeholder, who is dazed and struggling to get his gun out of the holster. He kicks hard at the inside of the placeholder's knee, and as the man starts to go down, slashes the scalpel across his throat in a single swipe. The placeholder tries to speak, but only a bloody gurgle comes out as he topples over, his eyes not believing what has happened in just seconds, as he falls to the ground. Bending down beside the overturned table to retrieve his socks and shoes, he hears screams and the sound of people running. Straight